Hey guys, did the awesome here to give you yet again another glorious Monster Legends guide, and today we are going to talk about the new monster, Lindworm, aka Stop Crotch, aka Stop Watcher Crotcher. Because why am I saying Stop Crotch? Because he for his loincloth for whatever reason it's a stopwatch. Because he is a lord of time. That's right, he is a time lord. And this guy is very good at time. He's very good at going back in time and turning you into little bit of babies. So you can't do anything. So yes, that is right, folks. Here we are with the Cosmic Mythic Kranks version. You know, this is low-key Kranks, but Cosmic Mythic so no longer squishy, which means opens up a whole new possibility, and it even has better relics. Ooh, we are going into the spicy realm, my boys, of Monster Legends, and quite possibly the step towards full team essence. That's right. We will probably start seeing teams, full camps, with just running essence, because Cosmic Mythic stats are really good, and with an essence, they just live forever. And when you rank them up all the way, they take less. Yada yada. The list goes on. They become bulky. Odds are you won't get past them normally unless you do some DOT means, or it depends on what you have or what you got. But the higher level something is, the harder it is to kill. And this thing's already hard to kill because it has essence and turns you into a little bit of babies. So life, 72,988, very squishy in terms of Cosmic Mythic stats, in terms of lifespan. I don't think it matters too much though, because again, all these stats are high. You know, back in the day, for stats like normal stats, people that would say that, oh, these are all right stats, would be around, what is it, 3,000k for power. Like the power stats, like 3,000. 465 used to be the standard of all damage dealer stats. Nowadays it's like 7,000. 7,000 power, and you just see numbers. Mythics are just kind of in that area where even if they're not meant to be damage dealers, if you do run damage, and they're, especially higher ranked monsters, you will just see numbers. That's just how it works. It's just how it is. But yeah, it's still a really, in terms of like being an old school player, I'd see this as a great life stat, but that's just me with all cosmic stats. They're all great now because they're all boss monster stats. And like you see the stats on Adventure Island, boom, really great stats, really spicy, really great. Odds are like none of the, like if you use like not well rounded damage dealer, you know what I'm saying, you probably won't burst past this thing. It's just really great. Power 7,392. It's not a damage dealer, but that's okay. Again, when you're like, if you get this ranked up like 150, if you ran a damage rune on him, like one damage rune, I wouldn't say you're crazy. In fact, I would say you're trying to hasten up the damage from curse. Like you do this 40 damage skill, bada bing, bada boom, hasten up the process, kill them faster, win the games faster, next fight. It's not meant to be a damage dealer, but if you run a damage on it, I wouldn't say you're nuts. But you have the option to run full, obviously you run full speed because he is your denier monster, or you run him team speed. That works too. You can do that too. Speed 5,962, very, very, very fast. This is its main role. It's almost hitting 6,000 speed. 6,000 speed. That's crazy. Whoa, that's a fast speed. Almost 6,000. It's over 5,000. It's crazy. 6,000, almost hitting 6,000 speed is nuts. That's like going into the ninth dimension. Again, he's a time lord. He's super fast. He has all the time in the world to beat the living tar out of you. It's wondrous. But traits. Let's talk about the traits. At rank 0, you do get hardened. This is a 20% chance not to get hit with anything. I'd like tough, but not everyone can have tough. But it's hardened. Given the fact a lot of things nowadays have like starting precision and or like true vision, I'm always iffy on harden. But tough's all right. I like tough, bulwark. I don't know if there's one better than tough, but besides bulwark. But I don't know. I'm always kind of iffy on harden because everyone seems to start the game off with true vision. So I don't know. It's hard for me to vouch for it, but at the same time, it is still good once the precision is gone. Rank 1, you get cooldown immunity. You are immune to getting your cooldown shut off. That means Siamese, Kodama, they got nothing on this thing. You're immune to all cooldown activations. It means you can't be bullied. That means other Lindworms can't be bullied too, so that's another thing too. You can't cooldown activate other Lindworms. You only can turn them into a little bit of babies. That's the only way to counterplay. You turn them into a baby. Baby meta. Here we go. We're bringing back baby meta. Rank 3, we get self-cast of precision, not precision, possession immunity. This is actually a special possession immunity, I do believe. You are immune to possession and corruption, because they slapped that on there. I guess they just didn't want him to be bullied, so they gave him that little treat. A lot of things that have the status caster don't get that luxury, actually. Like, if you look back at older legends that get this buff, they still get bullied by corruption. So, I think this one doesn't make you so you get bullied by corruption, but that's fine, because right now there's not really a monster that corrupts, except like for legendaries. Relics, you get a staff and an essence. This means you get an anti-countermeasure against Ordana, which is really good. I think I just like whenever I do comps, I just like everything needs to run a recharge banner, everything needs to run a staff, recharge staff. Just like I'm so sick of losing stamina. I can't move. I need to move. Like that's the kind of my mentality. And when I see something with the staff, especially for like right now, I don't have a monster with a staff for the survival dungeons. This monster is super good for that because you can hold the staff. You're allowed to do things. You don't have to recharge. For the next fight, you can just have your staff out, get your stamina back. It's all good and dandy. Really nice, really good. And it gets an essence, so that means it gets a real essence, and that means you have to kill it twice, and that's really annoying. That is so astronomically annoying. You will see this on every defense base, I guarantee you. It's just annoying to deal with. You have to rank them up. It's just going to be such a big check. So I highly recommend save your essence for this, my boy. Save your Stardust. Save your rank up fuel. You need this done. It's just going to be so common in every single team. Books, you are a dragon, evil legends, and villain. One more thing to add to villain haters for the new rank 3 monster we did get for the 25. I think it was the $25 pass. Yeah, if you bought the $25, you get like a villain hater monster. The only problem with that is this thing does go first, and if you're running another cooldowns activate monster, it doesn't matter because you'll activate the hater skill. I will say watch out for the light base damage. This would be effective against them still because of his natural weakness to light. I will say light damage dealers are very, 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 very welcome here because you want to kill this thing immediately fast. So if you have any light damage dealers, like I'm thinking Unspeakable, that's a good example. Or what else is that? Armuriel, yeah. Those are good monsters to bring to this fight. You want this thing dead as fast as possible. The longer this thing is out, the bigger your eyesore will be. Yeah, it's just gonna bulge in eyesoreness. You're gonna be irritated, my boys. So light damage for sure to counter this thing. Big deal. Time Curse is a spammable 30 damage skill and applies curse. I will say this is an option to run in case you get cooldowns activated, but then again, you're immune to cooldowns activated unless you get like trait disabled, which is really common in this game. So it's not a bad idea to run it. I'd say run it for defense. You just want something in case the vent Kraken kind of trolls you. Countdown is a spammable no stamina cost skill, which might be good in some situations if they lack a cleanse. This is actually a really nice skill to lean on it once your stamina runs dry. I wouldn't say run it for like. I'd say run it for Ordana situations. Yeah, this could also be an optional defense skill because you run into a lot of Ordanas, and Ordana would not like to take consecutive hits from this. But then again, it would restart the cooldown counter for a sudden death. So I don't think this skill is too worth it on defense. Actually, run this for like when you're playing with them. I'd say so you can counter stamina draining monsters. That's really all the skill is useful for. Is for those AI fights where you're running out of stamina. It's just a good backup skill, I guess. Aerial Traveler activates cooldown on one enemy. That's right, you totally deny anyone the right to play by shutting down a single person. So that's pretty great. I'd say run this skill because a lot of people are running area dodging monsters still to this very day. It's just a good check for them. And it combos well with Time Curse because you're going to spam your Time Curse and then activate their cooldowns till they're dead. So that's very spicy. Recent events. What's in the recent events? I said revert events. It's not recent events. Revert events deactivates all the cooldowns and removes all negative status effects from one ally. If you have skill mirror up, this actually bounces back at you. So this is really nice. Run it depending on your comp. You don't have to run it all the time, but it's a good optional skill. I'd say everything this thing owns is kind of optional, depending on your war situation, which means this is a really great universal monster. You do whatever you want with it. Age Overseer deals dark damage to everyone and curses everyone and turns them into babies. This skill is busted. I will say, once you get that area, that mega taunt down, the area dodge traits disabled. If you can hit everyone with this skill is busted. This skill will kill everyone. If you're on an Ordana, you will kill everything. This skill is so busted. It's insane how much benefit you get from the skill. Unlike Kronks back in the day, the problem with Kronks was she not only did she lack any, she didn't even get an essence, so she was she's very vulnerable. Legendary stats back then were very, 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 very squishy. There weren't it's different from then than now, in terms of the stats, but since it's now this is a cosmic monster, this skill is immensely better. This value you get off this is great because you'll live longer than Kronks because of the essence. In the case of it, you are in a situation where damage is really, really, really high. You do get opportunities unlike Kronks, so that's a big deal, very big deal. Kronks was still a good monster, but it was just held back by the fact it could die and then you don't see it again. But this thing you have to kill it twice, and it also has extra turn skills for allies. It's crazy. Greater Time Curse. This deals dark damage, applies curse, and removes positive effects. I'd say run the skill as a must. Removing positive effects is so clutch in this game. I only wish that it removed positive effects and then did the action, but it doesn't. It'd be too OP, I guess. So that's why they didn't do it. But I will say you will lose opportunity at most because you're not doing any damage. You're just removing effects, and it's on a 2-turn cooldown. It matters more against area dodge monsters, but if you're running against things that don't stand a chance anyway, it's fine. It's cool as long as you can remove the positive effects so they can't bank on anything. But yeah, I'd say run Greater Time Curse. Time Screwed. You apply a 3-turn death counter to all enemies. Apply space time and evasion to itself. This requires a cooldown of 3 turns. You do no damage. It's a time counter. This only really works if they're out of everything. Like if they don't have a cleanser. Yeah, that's the only reason for this skill. You do stall a turn, and this combos well with the curse. The main concept with this is you slap this on when they're out of stamina. It doesn't matter how high their hit points are. Like there are some monsters in this game that have really, really high hit points. As long as you keep activating their cooldowns and or turning them into babies, you do just instantly win. And you for sure avoid a turn of damage with the evasion. The stop time doesn't really do anything because it's like nerfed evasion, but it's basically just evasion. So if they don't remove positive effects, they don't have a cleanse skill, you do take a turn them into a baby, and then activate the cooldowns again. And that's 3 turns. It's dead. There is no going back. Once you get hit with Time Scourge and you're out of your resources, you are dead. That's the end of the story. There's no going back, my boys and gals. Once you are turned into, once you get the counter on, and then you just stall for game, you win. No questions asked. Bada bing, bada boom. See you later. I'm not saying this is a must-have skill. Again, everything's optional. But if you're running a stamina drain heavy comp, run this skill. But what can they do? At this point you've drained them of all their resources. You get to avoid a turn of damage, so you're missing the chance to actually damage Lindworm, and then you get turned into a baby, and then you're probably going to get your cooldowns activated. And that's it. That's 3 turns. You are dead. You are super ultra dead. But then again, the curse itself, it's kind of a laughable thing too with sudden death, because not only can you reset the countdown of sudden death by just doing the skill again, curse kind of just does its job because you take 70% of someone's life after a 3-turn time up. So I don't know. It's just one of those skills. If you cannot go through like the enemy tank, like if it's not even dying to curse, That's the only real point of the skill, is just to absolutely guarantee something dies in 3 turns. If they don't have a cleanse, yeah, just all there is to it. You put this on them, you wait 3 turns, and you win. Sequence Bender. This gives an extra turn to one ally. This is actually a very, very, very versatile skill. This skill is actually really, really busted. Because it's not only on the fastest mythic right now, it's kind of like the Demise. It's kind of running like Demise back in the day. If you played old Monster Legends, Demise was this really big light monster that was able to do extra turn, double damage, and it just made everything better. Like, you didn't even need to rely on Deny anymore. You could just do extra turn into your damage dealer, do your area scale, and win. Like, you just Elko everything. That was back in the day where relics weren't a thing. It was a glorious time in terms of just. I was gonna say it was really deny heavy back then. Like, as in, like, you did nothing. You could do nothing if they were faster than you. I really liked it when Mega Taunt started being a thing. I really loved that time when it just started out and people were doing different things. I loved that. But then, before that though, Demise extra turn, like double damage. It was fun. I liked it. I'd pair her up with like my whatchamacallit, my Atlas, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I loved it. Like, full damage Atlas, full speed Demise, win. It was awesome. I loved it. This actually combos with the skill mirror. So if you are running things like Remtar or Blaz, you run Protective Protocol with Blaz. You do that, and then put this on like your damage dealer, or like preferably, in all honesty, if you have the effects cleanse, like if you have Megatot cleanse, pass it to. I guess it would, in the order of things, it would actually be Blaz, because odds are, if this monster goes first, unless you tailor it around Blaz going first, then you could do extra turn into your damage dealer. But it's odds are you'd do extra turn into Blaz again. But if you're running Remtar, I think that works better, because then you could do your damage dealer like right away. Yeah, it would be 100% better. Just run Remtar and then extra turn into your damage dealer. As long as they can't OHKO with their Hardy, you're fine. And then you just go for game for there. Sequence Bender can be used for a variety of different things. If you ever play tested with Clipium or what's his name, Moon Haze, extra turn giving skills are really busted. Like even the self skills too. But I'm just naming the turn giving ones, because not only do you give that monster an extra turn, you are also giving that monster that used the skill a extra turn. You know how nuts that is. Because how the skill's supposed to work is, if you use it on something else, you're not getting the extra turn, right? Well, if you're a skill mirror, they are also getting another turn. They're like getting, like, if they got like a report card and they're saying like, boom, this guy was a great friend, and here's another star, here's another apple for their job well done, boom, for free. It's great. So you can do baby again. You could even go, because you will go before the person you do an extra turn on. So you extra turn your damage dealer, the extra turn reflects back on you. You can baby the Mega Taunt monster. Your damage dealer can go and do free things. This works really well with the upcoming legend, or not legend, the Cosmic Mythic Craster, because Craster has like self-setup skill where you can set up double damage, and then as long as they can't react to it, as long as you have like a Mega Taunt monster, right? You can go for game, you can do damage. And then you can still do the baby thing, right? You can still turn that Mega Taunter into a baby, and then you can kill really whatever you want. If they are running an area dodge, preferably you do go for the area dodge. I think this monster would also go great with Vanos because of the pierce effect. So you could do skill mirror. You have your skill mirror up, right? You do your extra turn on Vanos. Vanos OHKOs everything. Then Vanos will probably still go before any of your other monsters. So before the enemies like Grakon, right? Because Grakon is going to be checked by Remtar. Yeah, and you can just do another skill. It's crazy with the things you can do. Now, I don't know how well that would work with the Remtar count, but you could run Vanos as a slower monster. I think that would be better. Like, maybe you don't even run speed on Vanos, just run him like maybe like full damage. That way you might get another turn in before he uses his skill mirror up. But this is the combo with Flash, because you don't want to miss the timing on it. But if it uses Thremtar, you are vulnerable to deny at that point, or Vanos could be bullied. But yeah, so what should you run on this monster? I didn't talk about the ultimate. Remove positive effects, curse, mega stunts, and 3-turn countdown. So this means this is the ultra screw you skill. This in short, this is the ultimate no skill. If you get this ult, odds are you die. Like remove positive effects, you get cursed, and you're stunned for 2 turns. You get a singular turn to do whatever you want. You get a single turn, and they could like activate your cooldowns, and you're done. You know how crazy that is? You get like a turn to play, but they take away your turn to play, and so you just die. This is actually just insta death. Everyone dies. This is insta kill. That's all this is. Yep, 100%. You just instantly die. This is a really great ultimate because it just says no to everything. It doesn't activate cooldowns. It does give them the opportunity to cleanse, but if you have their cleanse on a leash, it really doesn't matter. Very spicy ultimate. So skills real quick. Run a spammable skill. So runtime curse or countdown activate in case you get trolled by disable. Tabor is going to be meta soon, so you probably have to run it. Even if you don't want to, I think it's a good idea to run a spammable skill, so you're not 100% bullied. Run Era Traveler. That's a great skill. Age Overseer. That's the baby skill, and then. Did I say, if I said 3, I said Time Curse, I said Air Traveler, Age Overseer, and then for your last skill, I think it's optional. Well, you're like, you don't have, I guess you don't really, if you want to be risky now, I will say if you want to be risky, you don't have to run the spammable skill. You could run the Great Time Curse instead. I'll give you a little more checks for Mega Taunt. But yeah, beyond that, you could run Sequence Bender if you are in a situation where you feel comfortable giving extra turns without worrying about much. Or you could run Skill Deactivation because it combos well with other things. But yeah, for sure, the must-haves are Age Overseer, the Air Traveler, and then everything else from there, I guess, it really is optional, yeah. But Greater Time Curse is a great check too, so I'd run that because you just need something to remove positive effects. You don't want to be completely trolled the whole game. Yeah, and the rest skills just up to you. Just build it around what you need. If you need another cleanse skill, run the cleanse. If you need a extra turn, go with the extra turner. Like if you already have someone that covers extra turns, you don't really need to give more turns. Okay. But yeah, beyond that, I also think this thing would go really great with Die Angel, the rank 3 monster we just got, and the thing that I said just counters it because of the light-based damage. Because of the way you can go around with Skill Mirror, I guess, you could do remove positive effects, Skill Mirror with Blaze, and then into like a whole bunch of different things. I'll showcase it, or at least hopefully try to, and then you can see what that goes from there. But yeah, that's this monster. Overall, I think Lindworm is just going to be on every single defense. You will see this monster. It will bother you to death. And you will probably love this thing too. This monster is so cool. Yo, stopwatch on the crotch, my boys and gals. It's hilarious. This thing's a giant space dragon with a stopwatch as a loincloth. Or like a belt or whatever. The funny thing, it's just funny because he's got like a watch on his crotch. Watch. This isn't quatch. I just said quatch with a crotch is spelled with a Q, my boys. Quatch. But yeah, stopwatch crotch is pretty great. It's gonna be a really great monster. I'm gonna enjoy using this. This is gonna be my new defense bay and all that fun stuff. Gonna troll everyone. I'll use it on attack. I'll use it on defense. I use it on Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, I think this monster's super good for that. But yeah, I'm the Be Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.